Hey, children of God, this is Kristi from seatedinhim.com, where we are seated in heavenly places with Jesus Christ. So we are continuing our conversation about marriage and weddings and love and courtship and dating and intimacy all month long in a biblical way. So in continuation of that, I think that it's about time that we slowly creep into the conversation about the actual wedding. We've talked about marriage. We're going to slowly creep into the wedding conversation. And I think one of the things to talk about in this vein is, should a couple save their first kiss until the wedding day? This is such a controversial topic. I mean, it's so controversial. I remember in the early 2000s when the purity culture thing first started, and a lot of people were like they had, young kids wearing the purity rings, and they had purity ceremonies, and they vowed to save themselves and their first kisses into their wedding day. People were going nuts about, like, oh my God, that's awful, da 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 da. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of one of those people like that's so weird, oh my gosh, why would you save your first kiss to the wedding day? I always understood saving physical intimacy to the wedding day, because that's that's how we were raised and taught, and it is biblical that you shouldn't refrain from sexual intimacy before the wedding. But we never had any conversation about kissing, because in every Disney movie before weddings, kiss. The kiss wakes up the sleeping beauty. The kiss wakes up Snow White. The kiss is just magic, and it's always before the wedding, and we were never taught to say that. However, lately, over the years, I've been thinking about it, and I kind of think it's good. I kind of think it's a good idea. And I'm not saying that this is God's mind per se, but I will say we're going to go off into the science of things a little bit, the psychology of kissing a little bit, and I'll let you make your own decision about what you think based on what the Bible already says about saving sex for marriage, and then, psychology and biology and all those good things. So first, let's talk about spit. So I'm sure that all you Christian ladies and gentlemen who are waiting for marriage are keeping their kisses spit free. But I know that it's something that we can't all promise, especially when tongues become involved in kissing. And so several years ago, I was wondering, how you just start wondering weird things. And I was wondering, why are DNA tests so effective? How can you know all these things about a person based on spittle? What is inside of it? And I learned that in spittle, it contains discarded white blood cells. And I was like, what? So in a sense, there is DNA, of course, inside of spittle, but there's also discarded red blood cells, which is blood. So we know that sex is blood covenant. And I'm not going to get into details why. I'm going to let you Google that, because I don't want to get banned. But sex, even a non-virginal sex, is blood covenant. And I'm going to let you look it up and figure out why. You'll find out on your own. But, and that's what makes it a covenant. What makes it covenant to God is the blood that is involved in that particular union. And then to think that if you're kissing and you're kissing in the style of French, whatever your je ne sais quoi may be in that particular moment, you are exchanging red or discarded white blood cells. So, they're not active, but Okay, so then there's one idea to think about. Then, now this one's going to be really weird, so just bear with me. But one time, I like science. I love medical things. I went to school initially to be a doctor, and then UAB humbled me. And I changed my mind. Actually, I changed my mind when I got accepted to UAB. I said, that's too much of a science school. I'm scared, but I always have a special place in my heart for medical things. And so I was watching on Netflix one time an autopsy. It was a thing about an autopsy, and I was all in it. And one thing I learned about the autopsy is that with the tongue, like if somebody's autopsy, you can cut somebody straight down the middle. I hope this isn't too much for y'all, but you can cut somebody straight down the middle, and then their tongue, you can pull out all of the, I think it's 12 major organs just through the tongue. And so if you're having a very intimate kiss and you're utilizing your tongue, know that your tongue is somewhat attached to all 12 of your organs. So when you're passing back and forth this spittle that has this information, because spittle contains information. Like, let's talk about breastfeeding. I know I'm all over the place, but let's just think about it. When a baby is latched to the mother, and let's say the baby is sick, what happens is the spittle goes inside of the mother's breast, and the breast milk changes to include different nutrients and antibiotics to help boost the baby's immune system. So there's different color, like breast milk, based on what's going on. I think even like it's a such thing as the breast producing like nighttime milk that is more relaxing and has more serotonin in it than the daytime milk. Spittle, to be cute, has, in scientific, it has a lot of information. Like, it has your DNA, it contains other things. It's just information. And then going back to that autopsy, so somebody is kissing you and tongues are involved, and then information is being passed back and forth to your 12 major organs. You want to do that with just a dude that you may not marry, or a female you may not marry, and you don't know what her DNA is or his DNA is, and the curses that are involved on their DNA. So then let's talk about like kissing and what happens when you kiss. I'm going to be reading from a website, Google, about kissing and what happens when you kiss. So when you kiss, you release several hormones. One is dopamine, and it's a neurotransmitter that is associated with the brain's reward system. It can make you feel euphoric and crave more. So you're trying to preserve yourself for marriage, but you're craving more because you're releasing dopamine while you kiss. Oxytocin, which is also known as the love hormone. This chemical can make you feel affectionate and attracted. So we know that this hormone is also called a parabondin hormone, and it is good for like bonding with a new baby, or bonding just in general. So you're bonding with someone that you don't know if you're really going to marry them. Then serotonin is released during the kiss, and it's another feel-good chemical that's released during the kiss. So now you're feeling good, and every time, you see this person, you start experiencing feel-good hormones based on having kissed them before. And then endorphins, also known as happiness hormones, these chemicals can make you feel happy and relaxed. So you're associating this person with the serotonin, which makes you feel good, and endorphins, which are also happiness hormones. Then kisses over time can release stress, improve your immune system, increase your metabolic rate, improve your oral health, increase relationship satisfaction, lower cortisol. So do you really want to kiss before the wedding if you don't really know if this is the one that you're going to spend your life with? That's up to you. I gave you information. I hope it didn't scare you. Have a wonderful day or night. Thank you for listening.